What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, a little bit of a different upload from me today. I've decided to create my own segment. I'd put a post on Twitter asking if I should or not, and blokes seem to get around it, so I decided to create a new segment called Rookie Review, where I'll go over the blokes who have played. Now, this video will be a bit long because there are quite a few rookies, but next week there should be a lot less as I've discussed them all, so I do apologise for that. So no further ado, we'll get stuck straight into the video and I'll show you guys exactly how we're going to be doing these videos. So defense here, you can see Toby Watson for Freo. Now, if you already own him like myself, you can just hold him on the bench. It says yes, you can play him on field. That is if he is playing. If you haven't already created your defense, I think he can, or not created, sorry, finish your defense. I think you can definitely have him on field. And yes, job security is moderate. It should be poor, I reckon, but yeah, we'll leave it at that. I think the reason it's moderate is because I reckon he's a great player. He's a very talented bloke. And if you got an average of 61, you're taking that as a rookie. I'm not sure why Freo haven't decided to play him. If he is playing, you can have him in your side. It wouldn't be a bad idea. But do expect that odd game or two where he is dropped. Also, you can't really predict these things. But he's probably your best bet out of all these blokes. Now, next bloke here, Matthew Cotterill. I don't know a whole lot about this player. He's a lot cheaper, a bit cheaper than Toby Watson, 142k. Job security seems pretty good. Played in the great win against Freo, so they'd be happy with him. But an average of 51, you're not really confident having that on your field. A bit like Brandon Starcevic in his dark days. He's that sort of player that you want a loophole to see if he does play good. But at the same time, if you haven't finished your defence lineup or your team already, you should probably just have him on the bench. If you've already got him, you can just hold him as coverage. He is great coverage. But again, not really a player you probably want on your field. But yeah, I'm just not sure about him really. I know he's like this ginger bloke. That's about it. A bit stiff on his behalf. But look, I think if you do own him, hold him as long as you can. His job security does seem pretty nice, but yes, don't have him on your field. If you do have him on the field, make sure you loophole him. So we've got Lockie Scholl here for Adelaide, 182k, very expensive now. Job security is good. It should be elite because he plays for Adelaide. They are starving for rookies and players. They will play anyone they can. Now, of course, an average of 52, there's a bloke that you just don't really know if you want to play him on the field. You'd probably be better off having him on the bench as that coverage. If you still own him, just have him on the bench. Loophole him if you haven't completed your side, exactly like Cotterill. If you don't own him and you're looking for a defence rookie, he would be alright, but it's a fair price to pay. You know, he's already made his 50-odd K, so you're probably avoiding him there. But yeah, if you own him, a lot of blokes do, not including myself, just hold him on the bench. He's great coverage, and maybe do a last-minute upgrade on him when he goes up to maybe, hopefully about 200, maybe 240k. We'll see how we go, but yeah, I don't mind him as a selection. If you already have him, that's great. Now, Trey Rusco there. Yeah, price 152k, very cheap, bit of a dud rookie here. Job security is about as poor as it gets. You might argue, yes, Colin would have a lot of injuries, but as soon as one defender from them comes back, he'll be the first man out of that side. There's no doubt about that. An average of 39, you're not taking that at all. You may as well have Cody Waitman on your forward line bench exactly like I do. So I'll be avoiding these players at all costs. So yes, don't get sucked into him. Yeah, I know he's an exciting player. Had a good season for Oakley last year. Played half-back. He was one of their best players in the top 5. I don't doubt his ability at all, but this year in Supercoach, I just don't think he's ready, especially in that Collingwood lineup. So we'll move on to the midfield now, and we'll discuss Jack Bartel. Now, this is a bloke that I have rated very highly. You would have seen it in one of my previous videos. He did fall a lot in the 2018 Super Draft. I thought he was meant to go, or the AFL actually thought he would go. I'm not sure, AFL or bloody scouts, whoever's drafting him thought he would go in the top 10. But obviously a massive back problem, making him slide down to pick 41. He'll get to the point. Job security is very good despite being in a St Kilda outfit who are playing great footy. Yes, he still has so much coin to make. If you're looking for a midfield rookie, don't be afraid to jump on him now. 155k, that's very serviceable. Yes, you can still get on him. I think he will play probably every game this year. I wouldn't be surprised. They might rest him a game or so, but by then you should have definitely completed your side, especially in midfield. You should have blokes to fall back on. An average of 62, really nice. You love that from a midfield rookie. He racks it up. Just butchered a little bit in his first game, but we can forgive him for that. And if you have him, like myself, you're playing him on field every day of the week. He's better than Schoenberg, Rivers, and all these other blokes that you have in your midfield on the bench. So yes, I think he's a great field option for your rookies. Now, a very similar man to Bartel is Xavier O'Halloran, a man I rate very highly. He tore it up against my boys, Essendon. I think he's a great player, but you got to compare him to the blokes like Haitley and Caldwell, and as a result, it doesn't matter how talented or good they are, their job security is very poor. Now, a GWS lineup who are struggling let's be honest, they're so shit this year. I can't say that clear enough, but he won't play many games at all. If you have him in your side, you can sort of have him on the bench, but if he is playing, you can put him on the field. He's a great player. We'll see how he goes, but I would stay away from him because I don't think he'll make a whole lot of coin. He won't get the opportunities he probably deserves. So Sam Wicks, very popular one, still very cheap, like the previous 251k. Job security pretty moderate. I think he'll play most games for the season, but like a lot of rookies, he may get rested. If you don't have him, I probably would avoid him or stick him as bench coverage. We'll see how we go with that. An average of 57 is serviceable, but it's not really something you want on your field. I'd be picking him strictly for cash gen. Still got a negative break even, I'm pretty sure, so you can definitely have him in your side, but you probably want to find someone with a little bit more value. Hopefully a midfield rookie comes in this week for round 13, and then we'll talk about him in the next video. So I'd probably avoid Sam Wicks, but if you have him as bench cover, especially in the midfield. You can get better points from blokes like Jack Bartel and O'Halloran if he is playing. And the last man here, Harry Schoenberg, 166k. Yes, very good job security. Like Lockie Scholl, he's an Adelaide player and he'll get his opportunities. The problem there is a 49 average, which is just about close to dud rookie territory. I have Harry Schoenberg, but he's on my bench and he hasn't been on my field once since I've owned him. So yes, I would avoid playing him on the ground and I would avoid him at all costs if you don't have him. You can do so much better for that price. So I'll keep that one pretty short and we'll go straight to the forward line rookies. So we got Boyd Woodcock here, 186k. Yes, very expensive, but I think his job security is actually pretty good. They love him at Port Adelaide. He brings a lot of class and talent to them. Bit of X factor about him. I watched him nearly kick his first goal. The boys just got around him. The celebration was up and about. The crowd went nuts, but unfortunately the goal didn't count. But as a result, I really like this bloke. And there was a time where I nearly got him in my side at the same time as Jack Steele, but I sort of got cold feet and wanted to save a bit of money. So as a result, he's made 84k, which kind of is a problem. You're not going to get him in your side now because for a 65 average, you don't want to pay up that much for a rookie, honestly, unless it's Rao or Anderson at the start of the year who've come off back-to-back 100 scores. You're just not going to do it. If you do own him and you still have him in your side, good job. That's a rookie that I definitely missed and wish I got. And you can play him on the field. It says avoid, but when it says avoid there, it means avoid selecting him in your side. But if you already have him, he's a good field option in the forward line. And you can sort of loophole him with Rankin if you haven't already traded him. So I think he's a great player. 65 average, plenty of coin to make, hold him. But if you don't have him, stay away from him because he's too expensive. Ben Kavara. Now this is probably the first dud rookie of this pack. And I know from experience as I started him before round 1. saw that he was a mature age rookie coming out of the Williamstown VFL. I thought, yep, he's going to get his opportunity. But the doggies got absolutely torn to shreds against the Pies. He only scored a 30-odd score or something like that. Job security is very bad. It's just poor. It's shocking. And, you wouldn't even play him on field. 49 average. It's not good enough. So, he's staying away from him. If you have him on your bench still, I don't know why you would. You'd probably get rid of him ages ago. But you just have to hold him. There's no money to make in him. He's only gone up 20k, which isn't good at all. So, I don't have to say much more about Benny Cavara. We'll discuss Zach Foote now. The first DPP player. We got a mid-forward status here. I should have had him in the midfield, but I would rather have him in the forward line, which is why he's down there. 123k. Only played one game. Looks good. He's probably your best bet for this week overall. If you're looking for anyone in your side, he would be the man. I would get him in my team, but obviously I have to deal with Sicily and Laddams, which I'm very frustrated about. So I can't do a downgrade. So I miss Zach Foote. He's not a player that I'll get in for 150k when he goes up in price. I just don't see the talent in him. I think he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but talent in terms of Supercoach scoring. How many times is he going to score 60? Sydney had a great game against the Giants. That's not going to happen every week, as Sydney are probably a bottom 4 or 5 side, however they are rebuilding, so they will play rookies. But if you are looking for a rookie this week, he's the man I would recommend. Moderate job security, he'll be in and out of the side, but if you have him, you can probably play him on field after a very nice score against the Swans. Now, Nick Reid, don't know a whole lot about him. All I know is he plays for West Coast, which is not a good sign at all. I know a few blokes are jumping on him, understandably, to make money off Lloyd, but go Zach Foote instead, because Reid plays for West Coast, coming to the business end of the season. When they get players back, he will be getting dropped. 52 average is not something you really want. If you have him, I'd probably hold him on the bench. I think he's pretty good bench coverage. He'll come in and out the side. But I just don't see that job security benefiting him at all. I just reckon he'll play a couple of weeks. Maybe it might be a bit stiff on his end, but I wouldn't expect him to play any more than 3 or 4 games for the rest of the season. And if you can afford that, then jump on him if you want. But I'd much rather Zach Foote out of all these blokes, or Jack Bytel if you don't already have him. That's sort of my take on him. Not a whole lot to say about Reid, as I don't really know him much as a player. Haven't heard of him before he played. I think he's number 46 or something for West Coast. That's sort of all I know. It's sort of like a medium forward. Could be a good player. He could burn me and come out for 70 or 80 score. Unlikely, but West Coast, job security, not for me. If he played for Gold Coast, not Gold Coast, they're actually pretty good this year. Can't give them much shit at all. But if he played for Adelaide or North Melbourne, you could probably have him in your side, but I would avoid him. The last man I'll discuss is Sam Flanders, a bloke that I really do rate as of last year. He was a great player for Gippy Power from my neck of the woods. I've always rated him, nearly started him at the start of the year. However, he's, as much as he is a gun player, a player that will probably turn out like Toby Green in the next few years. I know that's a massive call, but he's just not ready at the moment. An average of 46. Gold Coast are pretty good this year, so the job security is probably more of a poor side of the spectrum than moderate. I reckon because he's already played, they might have him in and out of the side. They may rest him, play him, see how we go. But for a bloke who's 172k, I'll be avoiding him at all costs on the field, and as a downgrade target, a 46 average is just not good enough. So that's sort of all I have to say about Sam Flanders. So that's sort of it for the video. A little bit different. I thought I'd create my own segment, just do something a bit different, because I know a lot of blokes. I get messages on Snapchat and Insta very frequently of blokes that sort of follow me, even on Twitter. Every now and again, I get blokes saying, which rookies should I downgrade to? and all that sort of stuff, and I do my research and have a look. So I thought I'd pump out a video for blokes like that. There'll be heaps of people that just don't know what blokes and guys to target coming through the next couple of weeks. So yeah, the week coming into round 14, so next week I'll do another video like this. It'll be a lot shorter because there'll be fewer blokes to talk about. But I just thought I'd do something a little bit different. You know, guys on Twitter thought it'd be a good idea, and I've always wanted to do it. I probably should have done videos like this at the start of the year, but I only sort of just thought about it a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the video. Something a little bit different from me. Yes, hope your side goes good this week as always, and I'll see you in the next video.